In this video, I'm going to show you 3 quick and easy steps for using ChatGPT to master new vocabulary. I know this is a hot topic and a lot of people are talking about it, but it really is a very useful way to learn new vocabulary, and I'm going to show you these 3 steps in just a moment. But first, one thing about vocabulary. If you want to learn vocabulary, it has to be in context. That means you need to see how it is used. If you don't know how it's used, have you really learned it? No, you have not. Also, if you want to really learn vocabulary, you need to put it into practice. If you can't use the words that you learn, do you really know them? Again, no. So we need to be able to do these things with a tool. Can we do that with a dictionary? Yes, but there are a lot of different steps. We have to do things back and forth. Can we do this in one place in ChatGPT? The answer is yes. Let's check out how. So here we are in ChatGPT. Now, when you're learning a new English word, generally it's because you heard it somewhere or you read it somewhere. Normally you would then look that word up in the dictionary and say, okay, I know it. But really learning a word is not just seeing the definition. The definition is very important, but what about the other definitions of that word, that same word? It may have more definitions, it probably does. What about the forms of that word? Might have an adjective form, a noun form, a verb form, right? Probably. What about the usage? One very important part of learning a word is seeing the context. You can't say that you learned a word unless you can actually use it in your daily life, right? Okay, so this is our first step, and I'm going to call it the discovery step. And I want you to use a very specific prompt when you're doing this, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're gonna learn. Then we're gonna poke a little more. We're gonna ask the teacher some questions. Then we're going to put it into practice. We're going to actually use it, okay? Act as an English teacher. I will give you English words. For each word, list the forms of the word. Then give simple explanations for each. So I want the explanation, not just the definition. That makes it a little more natural. You may have noticed in a lot of dictionaries, the definition is harder to understand than the word sometimes. Explanations. Explain it to me. Okay. If there are multiple definitions, do not give me more than 5. So I don't want to be overloaded with definitions. Okay. I can handle 5. You can change that to 3. You can get rid of that. This is a back and forth thing, but I have been testing a lot of these and I got the best results with this. Okay. Finally, provide some common example sentences to show the word in different contexts. The first word is undulate. Okay. So when I express it like this, I'm then able to put in another word if I want and another without having to constantly use the same prompt over and over. Think of each chat in ChatGPT, each one, as a little program that you're using to train ChatGPT to do something specific. Okay, in this one, and you can name it vocabulary teacher. In this one, you're kind of training it how to teach you how to learn vocabulary, right? So that's kind of interesting, I think. Here we go. Undulate. Verb form, undulate. Adjective form, undulating. Definition 1, verb, to move with a smooth wave-like motion. Definition 2, to fluctuate or vary regularly. Definition 3, adjective, characterized by or having a wave-like motion. Okay, pretty straightforward. I think we can get this. Now, we've got the forms and we've got the basic meanings explained. Pretty straightforward. We're going to ask a follow-up question in a second. Now we need some example sentences. The flag undulated in the wind. The snake undulated through the grass. The surface of the water undulated in the sunlight. The stock market has been undulating lately. The dancers' bodies undulated to the music. Okay, so we're getting a sense for it, okay? But This is the part where it kind of stands out from a dictionary, right? All right, now I've got a sense for it, but I have some questions, right? So you can just ask a question, whatever you're wondering. Hey, is the adjective form, right, used in X situation? That would be okay. But maybe I just want more examples. So I might say, could you give me more examples of the adjective definition? Sure, here are some additional examples, okay? The undulating hills of the countryside, the undulating pattern on the fabric, the undulating dunes of the desert, the undulating motion of the roller coaster. All right, so we can get a better sense for the usage. We can start to see that, okay, it's used to talk about landscapes, it's used to talk about maybe fabric or material, it's used to talk about movement, right? The way that the roller coaster goes and how it makes me feel. Now, I can ask more follow-up questions, or I can jump to actually practicing it myself. And we're going to do that in just a second. I'm going to give you another specific prompt. But first, let's just see what happens if we do a different word. I'm just going to type in the word aesthetic. So just typing that one word. Now, I'm not using a prompt, right? I'm training my teacher right now. Aesthetic, noun form, aesthetics, adjective, aesthetic, definition, noun, a set of principles, definition 2, a branch of philosophy, definition 3, adjective, concerned with beauty or the appreciation of beauty, definition 4, adjective, pleasing in appearance, attractive. The aesthetics of the building were stunning. The artist had a unique aesthetic. The design of the website was guided by an aesthetic of minimalism. The aesthetic appeal of the garden, and I'm not going to read through all of these, but these are pretty good examples to give me a better sense of this. But now, maybe I'm really not getting it, and I think, well, wait a second, there's no verb form here. It forgot to give me a verb. Well, there isn't one, that's why. But let's say I think that, all right? So now we get to the practice part. This is where we're done asking the teacher questions. But after you're done with that, it's very important to do something. To learn anything, output is essential. To have output, you have to actually think thoughts and create something in the world. So we're going to make an example sentence and check it, but in a specific way. Okay, so here is the prompt we're going to use. I will make an example sentence, and I want you to give me feedback on whether I have used it naturally as well as if I have made any mistakes. Okay, this is very important because I don't just want to hear corrections. I want to hear also, did I use it in a strange way? Is this awkward? That's important too, right? That's the connotation. Okay, here's my sentence. I don't like to aesthetic other people. Now that might sound silly, but I want to kind of test it and see what we get. And we're also training it here. So here's what we get. The sentence, I don't like to aesthetic other people, is not grammatically correct. The verb aesthetic is not commonly used in this context. Actually, as far as I know, there is no verb of aesthetic, but let's go with it. And it is not clear what you're trying to convey. Additionally, the phrase other people is not necessary in this sentence, as it's not clear what you mean by aesthetic other people. So that part of it doesn't make sense. A more natural way to express your sentiment would be something like, I don't like to judge or critique other people's appearance or personal style. Or, I don't like to judge or critique other people's aesthetic choices. And I think that second one would be a good way to use the word aesthetic in a sentence, right? Now, let's say it only gave us the first one. I don't like to judge or critique other people's appearance or personal style. Then we would need to have a follow-up question, something like, could you give me an example of that using the word aesthetic, right? Just in case it doesn't. But it did give us this example using that word, okay? So just to review, you give it these instructions as a way to train it. You're training a little English teacher who's going to teach you words, okay? Once you've got that, ask follow-up questions. Prod it. This is your teacher. Ask your teacher questions, right? This is a good way to see if something is natural or common. And the answers aren't perfect, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Then you need to make something. So make an example and use the prompt that I gave you so that you're getting not only feedback on what's wrong, but also on what's natural or unnatural, like we got here. Pretty good feedback. And you can hit regenerate response if you think, okay, not quite what I was looking for. That's actually a really good way to train it. Okay, finally, I got what I'm looking for. It's not perfect always the first time. Again, it is just a tool, but I think it's a good tool because everything is in line. Here, we have a simple interactive interface for learning through discovery, context, right? Explanation, interaction by asking questions, and then practicing it all in one place. I think it's really cool. I think it's a really good way to learn new words. And by the way, you can learn idioms this way too. Check out my other videos on ChatGPT, how to use it for emails, for example, how to use it as a more general English teacher. Check those out if you like. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Also, if you've discovered any interesting prompts that work for you, I would love to hear about them. Please share them with me in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe. It's a great way to support the channel. And if you want to get a free English course, you can check that out in the links in the description. And I will see you in the next one.